Sometimes you're also just ignoring your own demons by taking drugs, alcohol, or sugar. Let's talk about it. So what I want to do today is basically take you along in 3 substances in how I quit them, why I quit them, and also how it helped me a great deal by quitting them with my anxiety. Let's start off in the right order, and that is starting off with alcohol. Because I haven't really drank alcohol for like 5-6 years now, and that was basically the starting in where I started to see in how you can influence your body. So before I started my therapy, I actually made an Excel sheet in where I put everything down that I did every day, and then after a week I started to take certain things out by not doing them. One of those things were alcohol, and of course the therapist will tell you to quit drinking alcohol, but by taking it out and seeing a few days later how it influenced me, I saw that alcohol was such a big part of my anxiety rhythm basically. So I think a few times later on I drank alcohol, and I always noticed the days after that my anxiety was just higher. This has to do with self-love as well. So if you don't do certain things, you notice that your anxiety is better, or maybe something else that you struggle with, then for me it's always very simple to just stay away from it. Hey, could you do me a favor and subscribe? Would really help me out a lot, and you may also like the like button. Well, on this channel I've been talking about drugs, of course. And of course, the same thing with drugs and alcohol, since alcohol is also a drug. But since I started to use drugs less and less, I noticed that my anxiety also got better. Because for both of those substances, it also goes with the fact that you are influencing your gut. So let's put it like this. Your brain is sort of making up your thoughts. And this is what you can connect your anxiety with. But your feelings are actually coming from your gut. So if you have something going on in your head and you don't know necessarily where it is coming from, but then you are also annoying your gut with alcohol, with drugs or something else, then of course you're gonna make the connection with each other that your feeling, the way that you feel. So I felt bad a few days after either drinking alcohol or taking drugs. But I was also in my head overthinking things about myself in situations where I've been. And while I was not treating my gut well, I started to make the connection with each other. Whilst in a sense, if you take care of your gut, then you are also noticing that you're starting to feel better. And it's very self-destructive to make those connections with each other, while you could also influence it in a certain way. And I will never say that you can just totally get rid of anxiety. If I would not sleep well, for example, then the fact that I would feel off the next day and that I would struggle with myself a little bit is definitely there. There are certain things that can just put you off for the day. But by taking care of certain things, you can also make sure that you just have a baseline which is way better, and you have to deal with yourself less. Lastly, which I wanted to talk about, is sugar. Because in January I stopped eating sugar. Not necessarily fruit sugar, because fruit is very healthy of course, but processed sugar. Sugar has been shown in different studies that it sort of has the same reaction in your brain as cocaine. And sugar is also so processed that it's so bad for your gut. And again, I started to notice that, well, I just feel better if I completely stay away from sugar. So what I used to eat in the morning were often like, I would either eat croissant and some yogurt, or maybe some bread kind of stuff with some sweetener in there, or some sweetenings on top of the bread. And then the same thing would happen. I would get a rush basically from the sugar. My gut would be annoyed, and then a few hours after I would think to myself, oh, I'm feeling anxious. Why is this? And I would not even think about making the connection with how the sugar influenced me. So yeah, it was really easy for me to stop sugar. And I will make a video in how I cleansed my gut to even feel better, and to also show in how much power you yourself have in dealing with yourself, in dealing with your emotions, and also to make sure that you are healthy, both mentally and physically, because those things are going together with each other. Please let me know in how you feel about these substances. Even sugar. Do you notice if you don't do anything? Do you notice it with your emotions, with your mood, and how you feel? I just want to make these videos to, sort of show the power in yourself. I always said that I'm a humanist, so to say, maybe an overused term. You could also say that I just love having a soul and that I treat my body in a certain way. But yeah, please let me know. I hope you liked the video. And then there is nothing else to say than big hug, much love, and then I see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.